Hey everybody, welcome back to the Miniac and the Mini JCW Teams channels. So if you're watching on either one, welcome to the live chat. I currently have PJ Groenke on the channel. I am waiting for Cristian Perocarpi, and Clay Williams to get on. At some point, they should be here. So we have a lot of ground to cover regarding the NOLA race. And I also wanted to talk to Luis about some highlights from the Sonora Rally. So we have some highlights from that video or from that race as well. Bottom line, hotter than heck out there. It was humid, lots of mosquitoes. I definitely got eaten alive in New Orleans. PJ, how'd you fare?
Race one was very good. Race two was one to forget about. I love being down there in the heat. Louisiana is an absolutely amazing place. New Orleans is absolutely incredible. The history and the heritage there. Really cool track. It's kind of flat, kind of boring a little bit, but it's got a lot of fun corners as well. And you can really kind of toss the car around and have a lot of fun at speed and also through the slow stuff, which our car kind of really doesn't like, being the front wheel drive. But it was a good weekend overall. I mean, race one was great to be on the podium in the third race of the season, which is where we want to be every race moving forward. Race two, we kind of got Pirelli'd a little bit with a little bit of bad memories from Watkins Glen last year. So that was the only thing that was kind of crappy.
Yeah. Now I know if you just saw that little video clip, that was the crash at the end of race one. You dodged a wheel basically.
Yeah. That was pretty messed up. We went full course yellow and then we went green with like one lap to go. I never like those kind of restarts because everyone kind of loses their mind and crap like this happens. I came onto the front straight. I was right there with Spencer and Lambros. I was trying to maybe get a higher position, and I came onto the front straight right on the tail end of Lambros, and all I saw was smoke. Didn't know what the hell was going on. Saw a car, and all of a sudden there was a wheel with the suspension still attached to it bouncing in front of me. And I just dodged it. I didn't even think. I just moved my hands and I got out of the way. So I was lucky because that could have done some really bad damage to the car. Not like I didn't do worse in the second race, but
yeah. Again, well, I mean, I was standing in the pit watching. It's like here he comes, and then it's like holy.
Yeah, just mayhem. It was like NASCAR style green white checker, and it was just not the best show for the series, but stuff happens. Hopefully we don't do that again.
Now that track is definitely an interesting track to look at. As far as flat goes, definitely being flat is a little bit. It can be a little bit more forgiving because it's flat. There's less hills to potentially cause some issues.
Yeah, but that's more fun because it's more challenging and it's about sucking it up and just throwing it into the blind corners and hoping it's going to hold. So this, like NOLA, kind of reminds me of a track we have here east of the city, Shannonville. It's fun, it's great, but it's flat. So yeah, but NOLA is definitely way better. Many more high-speed corners. I enjoy it, but there's other tracks I like better, especially Coda, which I can't wait to get to.
So you did walk away from that race with a third place finish, I believe, for race one.
Yep, third place in the first race, first podium of the season. First podium of the season in TCA for the Mini JCW team and for Mini USA, which was great. It's a good start. It's definitely compared to last year where we didn't get our first podium until Road America, which was like third to last race weekend. We're already on the podium in the second race of the season, and it's going to get better and better. I got the crappy tracks out of the way, and now we're going to tracks that I'm really good at.
I saw pictures of Coda. I'm really excited about that racetrack. I just looked at all the map and everything in the observation tower. I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. There's going to be so many places I can get video of this.
You got to get up to the observation tower. The only thing is they don't have the elevator working on the race weekends when we're there at. So get ready to get your exercise in.
Oh, well, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
So, but anyway, we also now have Cristian live with us. So, welcome, Cristian. How are you doing?
I don't know. I'm here. Busy day at the shop, but I'm here.
Yep. And you just got back from a visit to the Dragon.
Yes, I did. I had a lot of fun. It was definitely a good event to go to after NOLA. I was like trying to cheer myself up after a bummer of a weekend. But yeah, it was a really fun event. I'm thankful that the Mini Card and Mini USA were able to send me to that, and made a lot of memories, made a lot of new friends. Got to see a lot of people got to see the new TC car, so that was awesome. There's actually a viewer of the stream. I forget his name, but if he comments, I'll remember his name. But he came up and introduced himself, so that was awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you also got a chance to take take Ethan's car out for a spin on the Dragon.
I did the first night. So I texted Ethan, and I was like, "Hey, I'm at my hotel," and then magically he appeared at my hotel, and I guess by coincidence, his friend was also staying at the same hotel. So it was, it allowed me to take his car on the Dragon. It was a lot of fun. I went very slow because it was night and I didn't know it very well. So
yeah, and I'll be taking my car out there in June before we go out to VIR. So
yeah, I'm planning. I think I'm going back in November, the weekend before Thanksgiving. So I'm pretty excited.
So that'll be a good way to end the season after Indy.
Yeah, it'll be like a little vacation for myself. And I'm bringing, I don't know what car to bring, which is, I guess, a good problem right now.
Yeah, well, you have two little minis now. You have your 4-door and you have a little 2-door R56.
I was thinking about bringing the Clubman because I brought the Clubman last year on my way back from Mini Texas States. And I have to drive to Florida. I leave the Dragon, and then I'm driving to Florida to spend Thanksgiving with my family. So I'm like, I'm probably going to take the Clubman just because it's sporty and has good brakes for the Dragon, and then comfort and 30 miles to the gallon on the way to Miami.
Awesome. So anyway, we do have some ground to cover regarding NOLA. It was wet. It was humid. There were lots of mosquitoes, and things didn't quite go the way we had planned for the weekend.
No, it didn't. But it was a positive-ish. We led good laps. We led a good portion of the race. So
yes, you did. You took off at the beginning of the race. It looked like you were going to keep ahead, and then Jeff just like reeled you in.
Yeah, he did. But I think I was hoping it was going to stay under caution because I had no cool suit and I had ran out of water and I was really hot and kind of delirious at that point. I was just really hot.
So you didn't have the cool suit on, but the container was in the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
More
or less.
We tried at least we were trying to go for the win. So there's I think I learned some stuff about what not to do and what to do. I've talked to a lot of more experienced people, more mature people that have been in racing a lot longer than me, and they kind of agree with me. It was a weird scenario where you're literally 500 feet from the finish line, and you just passed the leader for the win of the race, and I don't think anybody would have backed out. And there was definitely a lot of hate on social media after it had happened, and certain drivers in the paddock were upset, even though it didn't affect the race at all.
No,
which was pretty interesting. But I think I talked to the series about it last week. They saw both of us were equally at fault. To be honest with you, a lot of people were questioning what their reasoning was, but both were equally at fault. I guess I was trying to pass a car that should have been way down the racetrack compared to us. Why he never went down the straightaway like he should have, even though he got a better exit than the car in front of him, I'm really questioning now. I've watched the video a bunch of times, and why he never took off down the racetrack, and I know why he moved over so erratically is because he saw Jeff. It is what it is. We shouldn't have done the green white checkered, right?
Yeah.
We destroyed our first TC car last time we ever did a green white checkered. PJ remembers that. So hopefully the series learns. Like, I'm not saying it's bad to be bad on the series. It's just they wanted to try to finish the race under green, and that always breeds accidents and stuff like that. So as we see, you guys get shut up by the white car, and I don't think I ever even hit the brakes around the outside corner. I had such a run, and
there it is right there happening.
Yeah. How I missed it, I don't know. Still questioning about that too.
Yeah, you took some damage to the front of your car, but from my point of view, it looked like it was a lot worse. I was like, I was genuinely concerned. I was like, oh crap, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, I don't really know how I missed it. I've watched the onboard a bunch of times, and I threw the wheel one way, and then threw the wheel the other way, and somehow caught it when it was perfectly straight, and still finished third. So
Yeah, and we have the onboard. I have the onboard from in this video from multiple cars. So I managed to pull that up, but it was definitely, from my point of view, it looked bad. And from I saw the video footage from Sally McNulty's YouTube channel, and based on someone was watching it from their pit area, and they were standing like right up by the wall when the crash happened.
yeah,
So
it was a bad scenario.
Mhm.
It should have never happened. That's like kind of, look, he moves over, and I have nowhere to go, and I didn't expect him. It broke like where he had hit. So when he had come over, and I literally, if you watch the video really closely, I move over left twice to get closer to the wall.
Mhm.
And then he not erratically, but he went, the angle of attack of his car to the left after he had saw Jeff was pretty great.
Mhm.
Because he was kind of mid-track, and I was just like, I saw the lane. If you look at my replay, you can see that there's a lane clear on the outside. It was really risky, but you're going for the win. Like if you go back and if you pause it here, like, look, it's open. Yeah, he's probably going to come back across, but you would think he would see me by then, but he didn't. And then if you go a little bit farther forward, you can see right about here, I moved left twice, and then he's already in me at that point. In somebody else's video, it looks like I turn off the wall right into him, but that's not the case. I should have probably backed off looking at it now, but I moved over as close as I could. I was as close as I could to get to the concrete wall.
From my point of view, with looking at it and having been in multiple car accidents, it looks like you were not. If you look carefully at the video, you're turning the wheel left when you move right.
Yeah, like I'm trying to get as close as I can to the wall.
That wheel went left when you started to turn, when you started to go right.
Yeah, so, and I don't want to wreck race cars, right? I think a lot of people, a lot of the people that were speaking whatever they want to speak were just saying that that I need to know what happens when you wreck race cars. Well, I'm very aware of what happens when you wreck race cars. The last green white checkered at VAR in 21 was
Mark Pombo.
Our car came back and hit a little ball. So it was it's a learning experience, but it should have never happened. The TCX car should have taken off down the straightaway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to really question him why he didn't. Maybe he didn't hit the gas. Maybe he lifted. Maybe he was in the wrong gear. It could have been a million things. But I know that I'm confident that I did the right thing, and the series feels practically the same way, that there's two faults. Yeah, we're both at fault equally, but they're saying that they knew that I'm racing for the lead. I've had no past experience with hitting people. I'm very courteous, I guess, on the racetrack. I don't take people out. Mm-hmm. And where, unfortunately, when he came over, it broke through his bumper and it hooked him. So
yeah, it was unfortunate. At the end of the day, it was an unfortunate situation. Thankfully, nobody was hurt.
Yeah, and he's fine, and I think he's racing at COTA, and so
cars can be replaced, drivers can't.
Yeah, and hopefully the series maybe ups the BMW's BOP to compete better with the Honda now, and for something like this, because a TC car shouldn't be running down a TCX car down the straightaway.
Now, have they always raced TCX, TC, and TCA cars all in the same group?
Yeah, right, PJ?
Yeah, going back to the Probably World Challenge days, we used to have, oh my God, like TCR and TC and then TCB. And then when TCB went away after 2017, it was TCA, TC, and then TCR. And then when TCR went away, it became TCX, TC, and TCA. So it's always been, I think, one of the few multi-class racing, I guess, series within World Challenge, which is part of what makes it the most exciting class in the series, I think, because you got 3 different classes of cars out there. So you not only have to know how to pass the slower cars, but the slower cars have to know how to let the faster cars by without hindering your line or your forward momentum.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. And Calvin and Ryan speak about that a lot on the live streams because they know what it's about. They've been calling and been involved with a lot of different series. So yeah, it's fun, but it's always been that way with the three different classes going way back.
Okay.
Not
Now is it unusual for cars from multiple classes to get into a crash?
No.
No.
I've been involved in some, and we'll leave it at that. During my championship year with the class up championship leader at the time. So
okay, so it does happen periodically.
It's racing. They want to get by you. You don't want them to slow you down when you're fighting for the lead.
Mm-hmm.
It happens when you got two cars going for the same amount of real estate, when another car is faster on the straights, but you're almost as fast as them through the corners. They don't want to wait to pass you on the straight. They want to muscle their way through on a corner. I mean, luckily and thankfully, I've been around for a very long time. I've been involved in a lot of incidences. I've learned a lot from them. It happens. It's racing. Anything can happen at any time. You don't know what the other guy's thinking. You're trying to make him pass you where you want to pass him. He's trying to pass you, or you're trying to pass him where you want to pass him or her. And sometimes stuff happens.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't anticipate every. You can't anticipate everything when you're on whether you're on the track or off the track. You can't anticipate every possibility. Like I doubt, for example, Jeff Rick. I doubt he anticipated having to replace his engine at the track out of using his own car.
No, anything can happen at any time.
So, but that stuff does happen. It's just it's really interesting when you see it happen firsthand. Yeah. It's kind of just changes the whole view of how you see things at the track. But yeah, that was definitely race 1 was an interesting race. Race 2, PJ, you got taken out early, unfortunately.
Well, I didn't get taken out. This is kind of a long story. So going back to Watkins Glen last year, half the TCA field had tire failures because the carcass was separating from the sidewalls. For whatever reason, I don't think we'll ever know the cause. We've been told to stay off the curbs on the warm-up lap. We've been told this, we've been told that. The Pirelli slicks are a great tire, but for some reason, we've got a bit of issues with them. And I'm not knocking them. They're great. When they're good, they're good. But after race 1, we got the podium, we got 3rd place. One of the spokes on our left front wheel had cracked all the way through. Maybe from the curbs, whatever. We don't know. The team's never seen that. So we chose to dismount that tire, put it on a different wheel, and then the front tires from the first race always go to the back. When Pirelli dismounted the tire, they saw on the inside of the tire that the carcass was separating from the sidewall. Same scenario as Watkins Glen last year. And when I was speaking with Rob and the team after, they said that Pirelli perhaps suggested to not scrub in as aggressively on the warm-up lap. And I'm pretty aggressive, but not crazy. But I need to get heat in the rear tires. Otherwise, it's going to end up in disaster what happened on the first lap of race 2, because if you got no heat in the rear tires, we run the cars, the Mini JCWs, very loose, which is the fastest way around the track. But when you can't scrub in properly to get heat in the rear tires, the result is you spin in the 4th corner on the first lap while you're in 4th place in front of the field. And as best as everyone tried to avoid me, the pylon in the middle of the track, unfortunately, I wrecked my race, our beautiful car, and Mario's race as well. So it's just, I spoke with Rob and the team after, and Rob basically just said, screw it, do what you normally do, scrub in the way you normally do, and we'll deal with it as it comes. But it's just, for me, it's not fun. I'm tired of replacing parts in the car for no reason other than I know that NOLA last year was my fault. I own that 100%. But the ones following that, like I sometimes it feels like I can't catch a break, and I'm not complaining because I'm very lucky for everything I have and what I do and the podium at NOLA. But like this, if I had scrubbed in the way I normally did in the second race, I highly doubt we would have had this issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's like we were saying earlier, stuff happens.
Yeah.
Now
Exactly.
you did mention, I've heard this mentioned before, that the cars are set loose. What exactly does that mean specifically? They're set up loose.
When you turn the steering wheel, basically the front tires grip, and then the rear end starts to come around and set, and you use the power in the front wheels to pull you out of the corner. Because if you had the car, it's like same NASCAR analogy, tight versus loose, or push versus, I don't know what else they call loose in NASCAR, but when they're adjusting the wedge on the pit stops, they're changing the balance of the car. So you would like to have as neutral of a balance as possible, which is what we aim for at the end of the race. But you start off very loose at the start of the race, because then as the front tires wear, it balances out towards the end of the race. And we end up usually with a little bit more understeer at the end of the race than you would like, but loose is fast. I mean, Days of Thunder, Harry Hogg said it all.
I've seen that movie before. It was a good movie.
That's awesome. I watch it every Wednesday before I fly out on the Thursday.
There you go. You get yourself pumped up for race weekend.
It's just silly race car driver rituals.
There you go. So yeah, I mean, getting the car, basically drive the car or set up the car the way you're going to have it, the way you need it for the race, and
yes,
don't assume that it's going to work the other way.
Yeah.
So race two came around. I know, Cristian, you had looked like it was a braking issue.
Yeah, we kind of think we know what it is now, but unfortunately, it didn't get caught, I guess.
Yeah. We were looking back on some I was looking back on some footage from the race weekend, and where your car pulled out like before race two was to start. We could see a puddle where there was
yeah.
Brake fluid was.
When I brought the car back to the truck, I looked down and I touched it with my finger, and I knew it was brake fluid right away. So it's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
It costs a lot of money to go racing, and to not be able to do a race and be there for Mini and the Mini card and everybody was really unfortunate. But at the end of the day, we got to look at the positives, that the car's in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
We have good scrub tires for COTA now for qualifying. And that was my positive from everything. And we still got a podium for the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm. You also had it was during was it qualifying or practice? You had a drive. I think it was practice. You had a drive shaft fail.
Yeah, it was axle. It was
drive axle. Yeah,
it was pretty much my fault. We looked at the data. I'm still getting used to the power of the TC car compared to a TCA car, because in the TCA car, as PJ knows, if the car goes in the air, you can kind of just stay on the gas and it goes on two wheels, and you stay on the gas and it does its thing. But TC car has a lot of power, and I don't know what the wheel spun up to on the driver's side, but it was a lot. Like, street cars, you wouldn't see the speeds in street cars. That's how much that one wheel spun up. And so
leave it at that.
Well, you could see in the onboard footage from that session when it happened. You could see exactly when it happened.
Yeah, it's never happened to me, so that was a first. But I'm happy we knocked out our gremlin. We didn't have a good practice at all. Really, we didn't get any practice because we had the axle problem in practice 1, and then we had a clutch problem in practice 2. But we had a great qualifying. NOLA is one of my favorite tracks. I know PJ doesn't. Not a lot of people like it, but I love NOLA. I don't know what it is. We didn't really have good luck there last year, but I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's because it's fast and it's kind of I don't know. It's on the verge of almost too fast in areas like the S's. I really like the S's, because in the TC car you enter there. Well, in the TCA car last year, it's flat out, right? You brake for the first one, and you enter there at 100, which is a lot. And it's flat out the rest of the S's. And then in the TC car, you enter there at 120, and you brake, but you're still doing 110 through the S's. I don't think there's another track we go to other than the kink that you're going that fast through a corner. And you're riding on the curb, and the car's loose, and it's raw. That's what I like about it. It's very raw.
VAR, the climbing S's, kind of similar to that, but without the elevation.
Yeah, they're like VAR's S's are a lot of fun too. They're very similar.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Wait till Coda. You haven't done Coda yet with the S's. Oh my God, you're gonna love it. It's kind of like that. It's really cool, but you're going in there way faster.
Oh, great!
So Coda basically is replacing Watkins Glen, if I'm correct.
Yes, and I love Coda. I've been on the podium lots of times there. There's something very magical about a Formula One podium, and I've been very lucky to be on the podium at Coda, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, which is the F1 track in Montreal. That place has got a special place in my heart, and I'm really looking forward to getting back there.
It's not often you visit a Formula One track.
No.
Well, how often you get to drive, I guess, race on a Formula One track?
Yeah, very true, very true. And Cristian, I'm gonna have to go with you guys on the track walk for that, because that will be I can add an F1 track to the track walk.
Yeah, I don't think I'm excited for the first turn hill climb that we're gonna have to do on the track walk, but it should be fun. It's weird because last year I thought I had got all of the tracks I hadn't been to out of the way, and then we go to Coda this year, and I'm like, oh. A track that I've rarely ever done on the sim. So I'm trying to get out of the shop early enough every night so I can go get on the simulator.
So basically before each race you're on your simulator prepping for the races, as it were.
Yeah, this week's not been that way. Unfortunately, It's just been a lot of work at the shop trying to get things ready for Coda. So
you're welcome. Sorry.
Fine.
How's the prep for Coda looking?
Good. We should be done tomorrow. So we were able to salvage some parts off of PJ's car. We found some interesting things. There was good laughs. Good laughs. That's all I have to say. We had some.
Tell me when I see you next week Thursday.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to tell us. I'll be there. I'll be down there I'll be down there by the 17th. I'm picking up Clay from the airport, and then I'm taking him to San Antonio for his autograph thing.
Yeah, I think we're leaving Tuesday night because it's like a 17-hour drive for us.
It's 10 hours for me.
You're lucky. So it should be fun. I'm excited. I'm ready for the food. And there's a lot of people. There should be a lot of fans coming.
Yeah, that was my one big complaint with NOLA. NOLA really is after the race. It's like it was all fast food surrounding the whole track.
Well, I kind of like after we've been to NOLA so many times, and then the winter test there. I was happy to have fast food. Hey, I tried their food. I tried my best. And I love food, and I don't think the NOLA food is for me.
No, not for me either. The Sonoma food was fantastic. So,
we gotta go to Mosport so we can get some of PJ's food.
Yes. Cabanos. It's no longer Cabanos comfort food. It's now Cabanos cheeseburgers. They've rebranded.
Ooh,
it's so good. Oh my God. Yes. I look forward to it. That's my good luck meal the night before I fly out every race weekend too. Cabano burger, Philly cheese fries. Can't go wrong with that.
And your dad just sent me some photos. Just sent us some photos of PJ's car on the frame rack. It looks like on the frame rack.
Yeah.
Where is your dad? Is he there working?
I think he's at home. He's doing something at home right now.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'm the only one here.
So there's the picture of it right there.
PJ's car getting the treatment, but
yeah.
Your car's right next door to it. Doesn't look too bad for wear.
No, it was weird explaining it at the mini event where everybody was like, "Oh, what happened?" And I'm like, So
are you gonna leave the duct tape treatment for Coda?
Yeah, it's just I was supposed to do fiberglass on it, but I'll do that before VAR. It's a lot of money to get a new splitter and a new wheel arch. A lot more money than I thought it was. So I'm not going to go.
That racer's tape, whatever, it's strong.
Yeah, it holds. So
it's really strong.
You can barely tell by the photos Halston will take. You're not going to be able to tell. So.
No, it'll look good. It'll look good regardless. It looked good with the crack in the driver's side fender.
Yeah, I know. I'm not doing too well this year on crash damage, I guess. I went all of last year except Indy with 0 crash damage, and then
in your defense, your car was also 8 inches narrower than it is now, give or take.
Yeah. So I think it's been it's been two situations. The Sonoma one was a little bit more avoidable, but it was two people going for the same corner, and then the NOLA one, it is what it is.
Mhm.
We'll figure it out. Everybody's okay. The stewards made their decision, so.
Mhm. At the end of the day, as long as everyone's okay, that's all that really matters.
Yep.
Everything got buttoned back up and loaded up and was out, and everyone was out for the day.
Yep.
Including me. I was going to stick around that night and leave the next morning at like 3:30. I'm packing up at my hotel, and I was in Little Rock, Arkansas by 10:30 that evening.
So you were almost home.
I was almost home, but I will never do that ever again, because at 10:30 I was dying. I was like half asleep, starving, and I was just ready to get off the road. But I had to keep going, and it was just painful. It was really just really painful for me.
Yeah, you sound like Nevin and I's road trip back to Indy. I think it was like, I forget where we were, but I pulled into this gas station, and it was in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like one of those gas stations out of a horror movie.
Oh, fun!
And they all sounded fun, and we were probably very foreign to them.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
We were listening to Nevin's music, and then we pulled into this gas station, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if this is a good idea, but I gotta get gas somewhere." So
yeah, you gotta get gas somewhere. So yeah. So while we were all in NOLA, I have some highlights that your dad sent. While we were all in NOLA, he was at the Sonora Rally getting his car worked on a few times and some other stuff going on. But it looked like he was having some fun. He could send me some better resolution videos next time he does that.
Yeah.
Because those are I was like, what was he using to film that?
He was using his iPhone, but I guess that Mexican cell service isn't the best.
No, I guess not. So he was down there, and Bruce Marine was also down there. And last year, Bruce raced the blue car that PJ's driving this year. From what Ryan was saying on the announcing thing, he was basically saying that it was still pretty much in the same setup that it was at Indy, to some degree.
Yeah. So we really didn't change the car. Like that blue car, for whatever reason, is really quick. We didn't do anything different to it. So
It's
it
very
still
quick.
will be quick. It won't be any different than what happened at NOLA. So
No, it's a quick little car. Minis are quick. This, like, PJ's basically nipping at the heels of that Honda.
so hopefully POP should be fixed for Coda. So PJ will be P1 hopefully.
Yeah, I'm ready. It's that close. It's just, I don't know if I saw the BOP. They're not giving us any, but they need to just take that much away from the newer cars, and that's it. And we'll be right there.
But the good thing about Coda, PJ, is big long straightaways, and
I know.
Love the straightaway.
I know that track. I remember. I was driving against you guys there, and I know the differences. Don't worry. I'm ready for it. I love that.
Do you guys have any concerns about the concerns in general about how the cars can be prepped for that race?
No,
No,
these guys are the best. No.
Yeah, we're good. We're ready to go. We don't. There's not much to touch on these cars. I think after like the 8 or 9 years that we've been running them, we've got them down pretty well. So you don't really drastically change the setup on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny at the mini event. At the mini event I went to, there was a guy there that was trying to tell me what I needed to do, not knowing much about the team.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, well, you need to change this, and you need to change that. And I was like, oh, we developed that. And he's like, what? And he was like, yeah, we were the people that helped that company develop these parts. So, hey, if anybody wants an F56 tuned or track day car, you just let us know. We're pretty.
You guys are the only ones to call.
Yes.
Yeah. The only unfortunate thing is you guys can't tune my car because they locked out the ECUs after 2021.
There's a way. I know of a way.
Yeah, but I just don't want to send my ECU to Finland and not have my car running for several weeks.
Hey, it's worth it though, right?
Mm.
Hey, I'm not recommending a tune, being an official person from Mini, so leave your car how it is so you still have your warranty.
Well, my maintenance
don't quote me on anything when you go to the dealer, please.
My maintenance warranty expired after we got back from Sonoma.
Oh, great.
4,000 mile drive. I had 33,000 miles on the car when I left.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, but that's a fun drive. That's super.
That was a fun drive. Aside from the fact of coming back through that dust storm in Arizona and the trailer losing its roof and
Yeah.
all that great stuff. That was entertaining.
Yeah, that wasn't too fun, but hey, all the cars made it back in one piece. So
that's true. All the cars made it back in one piece.
Hopefully you don't end up in like one of those pictures of the tail of the dragon car off the cliff. So
let's say that means though. Here's the thing: if the road is twisty like the dragon is, I'm not going to drive breakneck speed. I'm not one of those people because even when I was driving the pig trail in Arkansas, I was driving within the reasonable speed limit. Speed limit for that entire road is 50 miles per hour. I was going 50, 55. Even then, I still had to downshift into second gear because I went to a hairpin corner. And I was like, oh, I can just do this. And I'm in third gear. Like, nope, got to go in second. Got to hit the brakes harder because I was not getting around that corner that way.
Yeah, I was the last time I did the tail of the dragon before I left was at night. So I did it the first time in Ethan's car at night. And then the last night I did it, which according to my father probably wasn't the smartest thing. I was chasing a GP3 and a Cooper S, keeping up with the GP3. Yeah, it was like 10 o'clock at night. It was a lot of fun.
I would have to agree with your dad. It's probably not the smartest thing.
I feel like it's better at night because you don't see the cliff that you might fly off of.
True, but you also don't see the police cars that might be lurking around the corner.
There's no police at night, luckily. The only bad thing is I've learned for the next time I go to bring a sat phone because the dangerous thing is that there's no cell service.
That was the weird thing is when I was driving through Mississippi, there were parts of Mississippi on the way to NOLA where my Apple CarPlay just cut off completely. I still had satellite navigation, but the Apple CarPlay was gone. It's like,
hey, the mini navigation saved Clay and I last year when we left the tail of the dragon because I had turned off my phone, not knowing there would be no signal. And we got done with the tail of the dragon and we're driving for like 20, 30 minutes. And I'm like, I still have no signal. And it was not a fun time until I remember that the Clubman has a satellite navigation, which
that definitely comes in handy in situations where where your cell phone signal goes out, but your car's satellite signal is still active. So you can still at least have a bit of an idea of where you're supposed to be going. So that was exciting stuff. But so yeah, we got lots of stuff coming up. Comments in here. Sean Woods, is this the person you were talking about?
Yes, Sean. Sorry, Sean. Sorry.
So, Cristian, glad to see you made it back from the Minis on the Dragon safely. Here's the thing. I'm a big Mini fan, and even I forgot that Minis on the Dragon was around that time.
It was a lot.
Weirdly, I just completely blanked down my mind. That being said, Mini Takes States is supposed to be next year, I think, but I don't know for sure. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next year with mini events. Ethan popped in here. I've shown several people this racing series that now say it's one of their favorite because of the multiple class system. He also said, "I love Coda. It's my favorite." He responded, "What about that gas station at the Dragon at 11 p.m.?"
Yeah. So Ethan forgot to get fuel for his car, and I start the Dragon. And we get like halfway through it and it blinks 10 miles to E. And I'm like, oh, Ethan, we're not going to make it through the rest of the Dragon. And I remembered from the last time I went, there's like no gas. Like you get done with it and there's no gas stations for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, there's no cell service. It's 11 o'clock at this time. And there's no gas in the car. Luckily, we made it to this gas station that literally was like, I have a picture, very sketchy, a random refrigerator. Random people talking in the woods that we couldn't see. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when I was driving down the pig trail, I drove by it wasn't a gas station. It was like this general store, like this little town in the middle of nowhere, like population 200 people. Here's this general store. I'm zooming by and there were these three old men sitting on a bench out front on the porch, kind of just watching me drive by.
Hey, that's the best part.
I wish I had been able to get that on camera because it was just too funny.
Yeah, I'm very excited for next year's Mini on the Dragon. So
Sean Wood says, when is the next race and is there a way I can watch it live? Yes, Sean, you can watch it live on the GT World YouTube channel. Just type in, search for TC America Race 1 Coda, and you'll probably be able to, you'll see the live streams. But the next race weekend is the 19th through the 21st, I believe, of May.
Next weekend. Not this weekend, but the next weekend.
Yeah, that's why I meant the next race weekend is the 19th through the 21st of May. So 19th will be practice. Qualifying race 1 is on Saturday, followed by race 2 on Sunday. So you'll want to tune in on live stream on the live stream for GT World, where they'll show that race. And they do it for every single race. You can also watch the recaps you can also watch the races from previous events from the last couple of races and even for the last couple of years. So you'll be able to watch it all and see how well the minis did. I recommend going back to last year and watching the Road America races because those were epic. So
I like race 2, PJ and I's dominance.
That was one of the best races of my career.
And then my last lap trying to survive TCX cars again.
Yes.
So it's always TCX cars. Ethan said it's better at night to be on the Dragon.
It really is because there's like no cars. So if you cross the double yellow, which you're not supposed to, it's very hard not to.
Sean says, Cristian, which car did you drive when you ran the Dragon?
So I drove technically 3 different cars, but the first car was an F56 JCW.
Mm-hmm.
The second car, I had never ever driven an R53 before, supercharged. So that's a first gen. So like 2002 to whenever they stopped making it. What, 06? Look at me. I know my years a little bit. And then so I did it in an R53, and then I did it in a F56 Cooper S. The funny story about that car is that car that I drove that night was Dad's first ever company car from Mini. So it was our first hot lapping car. So I kind of grew up riding in that Mini. So it was cool to be reunited with the car. Darren, a Facebook friend of mine, Darren, had bought it when Mini sold it back in 2018. So it's kind of a unicorn car because it got sold with a wave track diff and a bunch of cool bits on it that we put on there that didn't take off. So he's a 1-of-1 wave track diff.
Hold on. Is it red?
Yes, with checkers on the side.
Did it have a JCW body kit on it?
Yes.
Is it the one in the videos that your dad did the hot laps with in the video on your channel?
Yes, that's the same car.
I thought that was a JCW originally, and then I looked closely. I'm like, holy crap, that's a Cooper S.
No, so when I was in middle school, like when we had first started the team, that was a car he had. So that car, I guess, grew my love for minis. So I'm very thankful that I got to drive it. It was cool.
Yeah, I tried to model my windshield banner that's on my car. I tried to model it after the banner that was on that car in that video. The unfortunate thing is you can't legally have a windshield banner that low. So I couldn't make it work. So yeah. I'm actually changing it. I don't like the windshield banner blocking out like 4 inches of my windshield. So we're actually going to change it to just lettering going along the top of the windshield and no actual banner there.
How do you think PJ and I feel? We have like 3 inches of window.
Yes, but you're not driving it across
the floor though. There's a difference.
We're only driving at like 140 miles an hour. So.
Yes, but you're not driving it across country like that.
And we're sitting on the floor as well, so we're a lot lower.
You're also sitting a lot lower than I am. I have the seat. I have subs underneath me. I'm sitting a little bit higher, which already bugs me a little bit because I have to adjust in order for me to sit comfortably in that car because one, I'm short. 2, to get it just right to where I don't constantly scrape the steering wheel, the rivets in my jeans or whatever I happen to be wearing when I climb out. I have to like get the seat forward a little bit and then get the steering wheel up and toward me a little bit in order to get it to where I'm not going to run or scrape against anything as I'm getting in and out of my car. And even then it doesn't work. I still end up scraping against things.
A cool story about the banners. We actually made those when the cars in 2016 were in the Super Bowl commercial with Mini. So we made a bunch of those banners.
I remember that commercial.
So it just carried over and we had a couple extra. So we used them on the street car.
So I remember your dad in that video said that car was exactly the way it was when it comes off the showroom floor. And I was thinking to myself, when you just described all the stuff that was done to that car, I'm like, sure it was.
It's pretty simple. Like I drove Ethan's car and then I drove Darren's car. They feel exactly the same, right? The only time you're going to really feel the wave track diff is if you're on track. When you're in the tight and twisty stuff and you're driving in the street, I'd actually rather have the regular diff in the car, but so it's
Let's see
pretty fun.
Yeah, what's funny is your JCW Clubman has a mechanical front diff in it from the factory.
I didn't know.
The GP3 has a mechanical front diff, and my 2008 R56 Cooper S that I had with the JCW tuning kit and everything, that one had a mechanical diff from the factory. I was surprised they got rid of it. My 2006 Cooper S that I had an R53. That thing was amazing. That had a mechanical diff from the factory. So I've owned 2 minis that had factory differentials in them.
PJ, what diffs did you have in your what do you have in your Talon? Was it a Talon or Eclipse?
1990 Eagle Talon.
Do you have upgraded diffs or no?
No, factory. Whatever it came with. I upgraded a lot of other stuff on it, which is completely tangent to what we're talking about with Mini. So we'll talk about that at COTA, but that car's nuts. And I'm glad I still have it.
Yeah, I did bring up the Isuzus from the Sonora Rally. So we are talking about it's LEP. We're talking LEP Motorsport. We're talking motorsport stuff, and we're broadcasting on both channels. So
for me, driveline wise, I put in a JDM transmission with the taller first gear. I put in the 4-spline Spider gear, and then a quartermaster. What is it? Metallic disc clutch. Like, it's nuts. But I haven't driven it in like 20 years, so it doesn't matter.
Did you ever do the quick rack mod or no?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, maybe they came out with that. So like, I don't know if it was like that on the first gen, but the second gen, like the one I own, the turning radius is literally terrible. It's like this.
No, mine was good. First gen was a good one.
They put mine was terrible.
Okay.
But people put a quick rack in it to help that, but
I never had the money. You had the 7-bolt crank instead of the 6-bolt crank, or it's vice versa. I can't remember.
Yeah, no. So mine's a 7-bolt.
Yeah, I got the 6-bolt in the first gen, which is the better one, the stronger one, because your car has the potential for crank walk, right?
Yes.
Know all about that stuff.
Or timing belt. Both of our
first model year of the F56 had a crank walk issue.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Manual. It only affected manual transmission. F56 is the first model year.
Huh.
They had an issue of crank walk. I remember someone we have a little group chat of mini owners on Instagram, and someone was talking about there's a thing that you can do with the manual transmission where you can go into the slave cylinder or something, and there's a valve or some washer in there you can pull out, and it improves the clutch response.
I like the clutch. I like my clutch because my car almost has 300 horsepower and I'm not touching it. And it has the stock.
I was trying to remember
it's held on for, I don't know, however old the car is now.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to remember what it was called. So I was like scrolling back through my phone, not paying attention to the live stream while everyone was talking. But it was something that like the guy did it. He's down in Texas. He's probably going to link up with us at some point down there because she's in our chat group. So
there you go.
So he'll probably link up with us at some point. A friend of yours, PJ, is going to probably try to come by and see you as well down there. So from the old Pirelli World Challenge days.
Good old days, yes. Long time ago. Which is nuts to think about how long ago that was. The picture you messaged me was from 2015.
Yeah.
And that was my 3rd year in Pirelli World Challenge. So I joined the Facebook group for the Austin Mini Cooper Club. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's how I found him. I posted a picture of my car and I mentioned, hey, we're going to be in Austin for Circuit of the Americas for the race weekend with TC America. And then he was like, is PJ going to be there basically? And I'm like, of course he is.
Absolutely. And I remember he lives where I'm actually staying, just South Dakota. So if he still lives there, so it'd be nice to see him and catch up. A lot of good people down there.
So you all got a hotel down in south of the racetrack or south of the airport, something like that?
Yeah, I got my little spots that I like to stay at, which
I don't even know where I'm staying. I just
my
know
coffee spot. It's got the spot where I can buy all the juices and stuff like that. So I mean, doing it as long as I have, I've got all my little secret places I like to stay that are very convenient.
We got a hotel our hotel for me and Ethan is literally right on the west side of the airport.
Oh, that's not a bad area because you're right.
So we can literally go down the road, cross over south of the airport, and be at the racetrack.
It's better than where you stayed in Indy.
Oh yeah, well, that was also partly I didn't know where I was going at the time. There's a hotel on that main stretch of road going to the racetrack. I'm getting a hotel room at that hotel.
No. Don't stay there. That's worse.
No. But it was a nice cushy hotel though.
No, you don't want to be there at night. No, don't go.
Okay.
Stop knocking Indy.
I didn't know if I really wanted to be in that other
Scott
place.
Dixon what happened at a Taco Bell and like.
Well, next time
I know the Taco Bell you're talking about. Yeah.
Maybe if there's a Hilton or a Marriott in Brownsburg, I'll stay there.
Hey, they're building it. Yeah, there's plenty of hotels here that you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get
Airbnb. Airbnb might be nice.
Well, my dad's footing the bill for the hotels this year as a birthday present.
Yeah, the Airbnb I found for the Tail of the Dragon in November is amazing. $99 a night. Beautiful.
Oh, cool.
Has a garage for the cars. So I'm excited.
Sounds like a good deal.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to try to stick around a little bit longer in Indy after the race to do some go-karting.
Oh, okay.
That'll be fun.
Well, I kind of got bitten by the bug after getting pummeled by you guys at the go-kart track at NOLA.
I heard they didn't do that to you on purpose.
No,
not on purpose at all. No.
Oh, we saw that was you, and then we were like, "Oh, we have to catch him now."
Meanwhile, I was actually trying to follow a race line.
Yeah, we go to have fun. I don't even think we hit one racing line that whole time.
Well, see, I tried to follow a race line because I used to autocross, and I never really followed a race line there. I was like balls to the wall, driving the car as fast as possible, which is not how you race a car, apparently. It's like, sure, you can go fast. You're going to be sliding through that corner.
Yeah. Wow.
So
maybe you should
I'm also going to bring my own racing helmet with me.
It might help some people in TC America if they know it's not autocross.
TC America is not autocross, or it might help them to autocross.
No, it would not. Maybe they would be better at autocross than.
Maybe they'd be better at autocross.
Pro racing.
You would think. Now, I know there's people that do autocross and then go into pro racing.
Yeah, I had never done autocross previous to me getting in a race car, and then I did autocross at Mini Takes the States last year. And I did the electric mini, and I was the fastest I was faster than every car, even the combustion engine JCW.
If we ever get a chance to do a hot lap at one of these racetracks, we got to do it or something.
Yeah,
with one of the street cars. It's like I will unload everything from my car. I'll bring my race helmet at the rest of the races. I will unload everything out of my car and go out there with that car.
I started in autocross. That's where I started.
Really? I didn't know that.
My 1990 Eagle Talon. So literally, that's where I started.
Wait, you can do it with the right car. See, the Talon's raw. If you have a raw car in autocross and you go to racing, that's a good.
I started autocrossing in a 1999 Saturn SL1 with an automatic.
Oh, yeah. How did that not blow the transmission?
I had a guy actually go out there with me once and drive my car, and he set a really fast lap time with that car because it was not necessarily the car, it was how you drove it.
Absolutely.
So wait, did you know manual at the time, or you didn't?
I did not know how to drive. I knew how to sort of drive a stick shift. I didn't drive stick shift exclusively until I got my first Mini Cooper. And
That's awesome.
And when I bought that car, it was basically a friend of mine said, if you're going to buy a Mini Cooper, it has to be a stick shift, and I'm going to teach you how to drive it, because he had a stick shift R53 Mini Cooper. So he basically took me out to a parking lot for 30 minutes and basically said, okay, he's like, get on the gas. He's like, okay, put the clutch back in, turn the car off, turn it back on, do it again. We kept doing it again for like 30 minutes until I finally just got the hang of it. But even then I was still kind of new to it for a while, and I finally just got used to it. Now it's just like, okay, I get in the car, put it in the gear. It's like, I'm out onto the road. And I don't even think about it anymore.
I'll never drive an automatic. I can't. I learned to drive manual on a Suzuki Samurai in Cuba. That's where I learned to drive manual. Yeah, with a clutch that was done. on the back roads where there was no pavement. It was just stones and rocks.
Wow.
Yeah. Dad taught me. Dad taught me in his Montero. First, when I was 13, because I wanted to drive it so bad, and then he had a trailer attached to it and told me to get in it and drive, and I didn't install it. And then he really fully taught me a couple of years later in the Montero. But that is a very humbling car to drive when it's manual, because it has no aids, nothing to help you, kind of like what you drove, PJ.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't like to act like it has synchros in the gears, so you're trying to find a gear that's not there. Yeah.
That's what they call sink or swim. Yeah.
I can still drive that car to this very day and still stall it and drive.
Yeah, I drove my craziest manual transmission cars. I drove an old Chevy pickup truck once.
Oh, that
it had a column manual.
I've never driven one
And
of those.
and you had to double clutch. You had to put the clutch in to take it out of gear, then put the clutch back in to put it into another gear.
Yeah.
The hardest manual I've driven was actually recently. It was the semi. I parked the transporter one day, and in that you don't use the clutch to shift. That was a hard one to get used to.
Oh, that must have been weird.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Hyundai's trying to make a clutchless manual transmission.
Hey, I'm all for trying to keep the manual transmission as long as I can. I don't know about clutchless, but
no, you need to have the third pedal though. If you get rid of that, it's not really a clutch. It's not really a manual transmission.
No.
I might have had one person at Minis at the Dragon ask me why there was a third pedal, non-mini related person, and I was like, what do you? I thought they were joking at first. It was not a joke.
You didn't know that the third pedal is the best anti-theft deterrent device this modern day?
Yeah.
They don't know how to drive.
I was trying to teach someone manual at Minis on the Dragon, and we hit a curve. At least they got in the car. I sat next to them. I was like, okay. And within 5 seconds of us being in the car, they hit a curb. So that was interesting. Hey, but I taught them the e-brake trick, like like when you're on a hill. And
Yes. Hold it with your hand, with your thumb on the button until you feel the car starting to grab, and then let it go down.
It's so easy. It's so easy.
So we got other comments in here. Scott Swales, hey guys, Cristian, trust me, the quickest way to find a cop at the Dragon is to say that they're never there. We got a R53 purist in here, BG. Only R53 is the real Mini.
Yeah.
Ethan responding in here. Yeah, Ethan, I do see your live chats in the comment section. I'm just trying to be a good host to make sure the drivers get to talk. So that's why I've been ignoring you. You don't need to unsubscribe. So Cristian, I'll meet you all there in November if you want.
I'll let you know.
Jackson said Sally punching the air right now because apparently they're starting autocross.
Oh, speechless. Right.
Yeah. Sean Woods, I put money on it that it wasn't me that asked that question. I don't know what
that was not you.
So, and then that's basically all the questions that were in there. So lots of different stuff in there. Clay unfortunately did not join us, but I wanted to recap his third place finish in race 2.
Yeah, he was at work, so he couldn't make it, unfortunately.
Well, work comes first. It's not a big deal.
Paying the bills.
Yep, he did pretty well during race 2. Obviously, you weren't in race 2 with brake issues, but that's
I made like 3 laps. And
then you had to pull out for that. But he did pretty good during race 2 by the looks of it. At least he podiumed. So 3 podiums for the weekend, basically.
We each got one.
Huh?
Yep.
We each got one podium, which is not too bad. Not what we want to do, but nothing to cry about.
Nope.
No, not a terrible way to end the weekend. I did notice though that I was watching the live footage, and I was watching some of the other stuff. Those TC cars love to hop around corners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. NOLA's bumpy too. So NOLA's built on a swamp, so it's not the smoothest of tracks.
Yeah, but they seem to just like to skip around the corners. Are the sway bars just really stiff or something, or is it just something?
I can't tell you. We don't know why they hop either. We've been trying to figure it out for last year, so
Okay.
It's a secret.
it's a secret. That's how we go fast.
We're just gonna have to rename them rename the TC Minis Jumping Frogs.
Oh, yeah.
They're going from Bulldogs to Jumping Frogs. But he did pretty good. He did pretty good for that race. The weather seemed to hold out for race 2. Obviously, it did not hold. It kind of came in for right after race 1. So
yeah, it poured. It poured.
Definitely.
Just like last year, PJ. Remember?
Yeah, exactly. Like a monsoon. We were lucky to get our race done, get the podium done, get back to the trailer. It was kind of drizzling a little bit, and then the skies opened up. It was
And I've never ridden a go-kart. I've never ridden a golf cart before with an umbrella over my head. That was an interesting experience.
Yeah, you're gonna
I
get.
think you guys have one of the few golf carts at the tracks that does not have a roof on it.
Hey, there's a roof for it. We take it off for a reason.
Because you can't fit it in the truck, I'm assuming.
No, you can fit it in the truck. It's just a pain.
Oh,
more stuff to break.
More stuff to break. Well, the back seat already broke on it, I think.
Right, we gotta buy a new one of those.
So it happens. But I don't see any more comments in here. But we've been going for about an hour. Do a little housekeeping here. We have sponsors that we want to thank for continuing to support our channels. I obviously want to thank outmotoring.com for continuing to support the Miniac. And I know you guys have some sponsors for LAP Motorsports and the Mini JCW team if you want to talk about those.
I don't know. You want to go first, PJ, or
PJ? You go. Go have your sponsors.
I can't thank my sponsors and partners enough, from Eventscape, Banos Cheeseburgers, Tundra, TalentNet, Aletha. I wouldn't be out there without them. And there's so many others that I could name. They're just the absolute most incredible people and companies in the world. And I'm so proud to be able to represent them, from Noventa Energy Partners to, oh God, I'd have to look at the side of the car, to be honest with you. Canadian Credit Corporation.
Let me put the car back up. You can just watch the
Doug Ramshawn family, Joseph Bass. Oh my God, how could I forget them? It's just, I've been talking to you guys for so long, it's hard to think of it. Route 44, Quality Cheese, Atlanta Company, Abbott, Amsterdam Brewing Company.
Right there you go.
Yeah, like, my God, I'm so lucky to know all these incredible people. Red Pocket, Alpha Laboratories, Warp Speed Computers, and that's not even all of them on the car, to be honest with you. I'm lucky. I'm fortunate. Vesticon. It's just. I can't thank them enough. It's just, they're the most incredible. Hempen Jewelers. God, Werner and Rebecca. I'm lucky, and I from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank them all enough. I wouldn't be out there doing what I do without them, and every podium I get is for them. And thank you for the assistance.
Yeah, your car is the most recognizable one out there. It's the only one with millions of stickers on it.
Yeah, NASCAR style.
Racing. It pays for
racing. Exactly. And I like I said, I wouldn't be out there without them, and I can't thank them enough.
Yeah, I think I have the same, I guess, unwavering support from Mini and the Mini card. So I'm very thankful for them putting trust in some random 19-year-old from Indiana that came from a video game. So, and no, they really make my dreams possible. I'm very thankful. It's hard to, I guess, elaborate and explain of how grateful I am for the Mini card and the people at Mini USA for believing in me. But I'm happy to come to these events. I'm excited for the rest of the year, and at least we have a good-looking race car, and hopefully we win some races.
You will.
I personally think the Minis are probably the best-looking cars out there, but I'm a little biased, obviously. So that's just me. I'm a little biased towards the cars, but
yeah,
great cars, great brands, great sponsors, obviously. And if you want to check out the Mini JCW team, go to minijcwteam.com. They've been updating their website a little bit here and there. They also have their entire race schedule for the year on that site as well. And there's a few little pieces of information about the drivers on the site as also. Go to the YouTube channel is Mini JCW Team Films, and check out their channel. They're up there constantly adding stuff. We need to add more videos, by the way. So I'm going to try to get you guys to help me do some short videos that we can add to the channel. And obviously we're constantly adding racing footage, racing videos to the Miniac channel as well. And I have I still haven't posted all the Sonoma in-car videos, and those are going up one by one as well. So I probably have enough footage on this from each of these races to last me through the rest of this year. So
I think we need PJ's race 2 battle.
I have it. I mean, you got to wait to get it from the series, but it wasn't too much.
The race 2 battle.
It was getting hit and then spinning and getting.
Yeah,
No. I say race 2 from Sonoma.
Oh, that was good.
I have that video.
Yeah.
I have the in-car footage. It's gonna go live as well at some point. I have the in-car footage from his car.
Yeah.
So that video
I would like qualifying from NOLA, because that was like some of my favorite laps at NOLA.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was pretty fun. Sean Woods popped in. Thank you guys for your time and the stories. These types of events gives a different dynamic to owning a Mini. Keep doing what you're doing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And
thank you for
coming.
Yeah, and thank you for coming to the Minis on the Dragon and introducing yourself. So it was awesome talking to you, and I think we grabbed a picture too. So thank you.
I just realized I forgot another sponsor of mine that I need to thank, because he does all my vinyl on my car, is Todd Pearson of motoringstripes.com, because he also offers a discount code so you guys can get 5% off on vinyl stickers and badges. And he does grill badges for the Dragon. He does them for Mini Taste Estates as well. So he does a lot of cool graphic stuff. He's actually going to be giving me some more graphics tomorrow for the car. We're going to have a hashtag Mini JCW team on the car. So I'm hopeful that people are going to see that and can start sending stuff to the racing team's Instagram to tag the racing team on there, and start getting some more stuff out there for you guys. So we'll see how that pans out. I might also get some more vinyl done to the car. I've already changed the stripes to those nice yellow ones and the number 74 numbers on the doors. I've toyed with, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet. I've toyed with wrapping the entire front of the car in yellow, like you see on like the lawn cars, the front where the nose is like is a color. I'm not sure yet how that will look, because I already have the double sport stripes. So I might just say skip that and just continue the stripes down the front of the car, but I don't know. My guy who's done my illustrations of my car has already redone my illustration to include the new graphics look for the car. And he's also doing one for you, Cristian.
Oh, he is. I didn't know that.
For your TC car.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's making an illustration of the front end of the TC.
Well, I can finally put a racing poster up in my room. I have 0 photos of my race car in my room, surprisingly.
You have zero photos, and meanwhile there's tons of photos going up. How do you not have photos of your race car?
I don't have a single one.
Not even your old one?
No, not a single one.
Good grief! Why would
I'm rarely home. I'm usually at the shop or traveling.
Yeah. True. I'll give you that. But yeah. I mean, you gotta definitely.
I got some good photos now. I think my favorite one right now is the one leading in the S's at NOLA. So
my personal favorite is the one where you were drifting sideways at Sonoma.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
I like that photo. That was a good photo.
They should put that one up in the dealerships.
Yeah.
If it were, I don't know if the resolution's good enough to do it. I might have to try to see if I could download it again. I can't remember who's your photographer who took that picture.
Halston Pittman.
Okay.
And then
it's
Halston Pittman and Chris Green for PJ
photography. Yeah.
Yeah. It was probably based on the way the photo looked. It looked like he took it from pretty far back.
Yeah. Well, Halston has a really cool Mini. Halston also races a Mini in Champ Car. So.
Oh, cool.
Yep. John Player's special.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys probably get some of the best photos out there for as far as racing goes. I don't know of any other racing teams that do that.
Yeah, I think our favorite. I wish there was a good photo of it, but like our favorite screenshot / photo is our 3 wide salute at Road America.
Yes.
I don't have. Oh wait a minute, there is a picture of it.
Yeah, Jared took a picture of it, which is
it was in the Dropbox that your dad sent me.
Really? I didn't know.
I'm pretty sure. I'll try to dig it up, but I'm pretty sure there was a photo.
Yeah, that was PJ's idea. So
yeah.
And if there isn't a photo, someone else has got to have a photo out there of that 3 wide, because I thought that was just awesome to see that. That was just the coolest thing. But what do you? I am curious. What do you guys talk about on those headsets when you're in the cars? It's just no talking at all, or is it just?
Well, after the race, Watkins Glen, Clay and I talked about cats. That was an interesting one. and then it's just random stuff or a lot of curse words, unfortunately, from yours truly.
A little bit too much, to be honest with you. So, yeah, but I mean, the good times are the good times. The bad times are usually a lot of curse words.
Yeah, from PJ and I, we're pretty good at getting our frustration out.
I mean, I've toyed with
Get a scanner.
asking if I could listen to if I could put one of those headsets on and listen, just so I could hear what was going on. But
usually when it's quiet, that means it's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't want to take any headsets away from anyone else who might actually need them to communicate with you guys.
I think you should put don't put mics in front of in my car. That would have been bad. I blabbered a lot, not on the radio. So.
No, the cameras though do have microphones on them, so they do record. I didn't hear anything that sounded like cursing or anything like that. So
no, it's usually not cursing. It's just blabbering, keeping my sane during races. I don't know how PJ, but
well, I did hear some stuff from PJ's video. So I did. I did
not speak for itself and not talk about it here.
Yeah. It's funny. Ethan wanted to pop back in. You have a nice dragon sticker on your rear window now.
Oh, I do. I can show it. Here, let me show it. Let's see. Oh gosh, if I can figure out how to use a camera here. I do. Nice. Oh.
See, now you're driving a car number 37. Now you need a number 37 Miniac too. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's sick.
So Ethan put it on. I had Ethan put it on because he gave it to me, and I didn't trust myself with putting it on straight. So,
well, now I'm gonna have to have him get one when I go to the Dragon in June.
Yeah, just be. It's so easy to. So many things.
Well, yeah, because it's not a solid track map. It's just a straight line or a squiggly line.
Yeah, I was just saying, be careful. There's so many blind corners, and there's.
That's why I don't speed around roads I'm unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
It kind of wants you to speed around it, and it's I don't know.
I've seen what's funny is my Hero 11 GoPro that I have. It's the one that if you tilt it like this, the image stays like this. I'm wondering if I mount that one in my car, if when I hit one of those turns, if the camera's going to stay like this the whole time.
There's a good dash cam on Facebook of my runs at night in Darren's Cooper S.
Well, that'll be something interesting to see. But stay on the line, guys. When we wrap up, I want to thank everybody for watching. Obviously, thanks for watching on both channels. If you've joined us on the Mini JCW Team's channel, welcome to our second live stream. Welcome to the end of our second live stream on that channel. And if you're joining us on the Miniac, welcome as always. But we're going to wrap things up here. I want to thank everybody for watching. And if you like what you see, check out more content on both of our channels at the end of this live stream. If you're wanting to catch up on the next race, it is on the GT World channels or YouTube channel, and just look up TC America, type in race 1, race 2 for COTA coming up, and you'll be able to at least set a reminder so you can make sure that you catch that in a couple of weeks. But as always, I want to thank everybody for watching, and of course, remind you all that life is too short to drive a boring car. So, what do we do?
Drive a Mini.
Drive a Mini.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you all later, and off to the races.